woman walks up to a coffee counter. No wallet, no phone. She looks at a screen and the payment clears. This is 2026. JP Morgan, Fiserv, and the UAE Central Bank are all rolling out systems where your face is your credit card. We are shifting from what you have to who you are. If your body becomes the login for your money, what happens when someone decides to revoke your access? If you want the kind of financial literacy they never teach in school, please like this video and subscribe to the channel while you still can. Every password you have ever created can be changed. Every credit card you have ever lost can be replaced, but your face is permanent. Right now, that face is being linked to your bank account, your health records, your tax returns, and your phone number, all connected through a single biometric profile. The banking industry has a term for identity verification, KYC, short for Know Your Customer. It traditionally means proving who you are once when you open an account. The new biometric model works differently. Instead of a one-time check, these systems push toward continuous real-time authentication across every service you use. A single scan creates a persistent identifier that follows you across platforms, borders, and institutions. Good Intelligence, a biometric payments research firm, projects the global biometric payments market will hit $5.8 trillion by 2026. That is over 3 billion users worldwide. Payment processors are racing to capture this space because faces cannot be stolen like cards or forgotten like passwords. South Korea is showing where this leads. Starting March 23, 2026, the country's Ministry of Science and ICT will require facial recognition for every new mobile phone activation. Before a carrier can switch on your SIM, your live face must match the photo on your government-issued ID. Real-time matching. No exceptions. This matters more than it sounds. Your phone number is the recovery key for your banking apps, your government logins, and the security codes that protect every account you own. Whoever controls the SIM activation process controls access to a person's entire digital life. Once face matching becomes a prerequisite for getting a phone number, anonymity is no longer something to debate. It becomes technically impossible. The fastest way to change how a society pays is to run a pilot and then quietly make it the default. In late January 2026, the UAE did exactly that. The Central Bank of the UAE launched the Middle East's first biometric payment pilot at the Dubai Land Department. It runs through the bank's Sandbox program, a controlled environment for testing new financial technology. Facial and palm recognition handle payments at the register. Network International, a Dubai-based payment processor managing the transactions, PopID, an American biometrics firm, provides the scanning technology. The customer just looks at the terminal and walks away. The central bank's assistant governor, Saif Al-Dahiri, described it as a strategic step towards more secure and seamless payments. And the payment terminal is only one piece of a larger shift happening across the Emirates. The UAE Central Bank has directed every bank in the country to eliminate SMS-based security codes by March 2026. The replacement is biometric authentication, fingerprints, face scans, and in-app verification built into your banking app. Major lenders including Emirates, NBD, and First Abu Dhabi Bank are already making the switch. Singapore proves this model works at a full nation scale. SingaPass, the country's digital identity system, covers 97% of citizens and permanent residents aged 15 and above. It connects to over 2,700 government and private services. Face verification is how Singaporeans log into their banks, file their taxes, and secure their financial accounts. But here is what neither country mentions in their press releases. If your password leaks, you change it. If your card gets stolen, the bank issues a new one. But if your biometric profile is compromised or linked to the wrong person, you cannot change your face. The biometric pilots show it works. The face scans are fast, accurate, and already processing real transactions. But payments are only half the architecture being built. Programmable money, the kind central banks around the world are developing right now, can apply rules to every transaction in real time. It can approve one purchase and block another, but for those rules to work, a verified identity must be attached to every transaction. Think about what that looks like once it's operational. A government issues stimulus payments that expire if unspent within 30 days. Benefits get restricted to approved merchant categories. Location-based controls block purchases outside certain zones. Every one of these requires the system to confirm who you are at the precise moment you try to pay. The European Union is building the framework for exactly this. In 2024, the European Parliament passed a regulation creating the European Digital Identity Framework. All 27 member states must offer digital identity wallets to their citizens by the end of 2026. The mandate is law. These wallets hold far more than payment details. Your verified identity, driving license, diplomas, healthcare credentials, and financial authorizations all sit inside a single app on your phone. Your face or fingerprint unlocks it. The wallet generates a cryptographic proof. The service on the other end accepts or denies. When who you are, what you are allowed to buy, and how you pay all live inside one digital container, money stops being neutral. It becomes a tool for enforcing policy, and the rules inside that container can be rewritten at any time by anyone with administrative access without your consent. The wallet becomes mandatory, not because of any single law, but because of adoption. No government decree will force you to enroll your face in a payment system. Instead, 1,000 merchants, banks, and platforms will quietly adopt biometric checkout until the alternative disappears. JP Morgan expanded partnership with Pop ID, a biometric authentication company, is deploying face scan payments to pilot merchants across the United States right now. Customers enroll once with a selfie and a payment card. After that, every checkout is an identity verification event. On January 7, 2026, financial technology giant Fiserv announced it will add biometric payments to Clover, its point-of-sale platform used by merchants nationwide. Through a new partnership with Wing, a Texas-based biometric payments company, customers will pay by scanning their face or palm at any Clover terminal. Restaurants, sports, venues, and retailers come first. Broader rollout follows through the year. Sanjay Saraf, Fiserv's Global Chief Product Officer for Merchant Solutions, described the vision plainly. The future of commerce is the unification of payment and identity. Payment and identity unified into one system, one profile for buying groceries, verifying your age, checking into a hotel, and proving who you are at the bank. Once major point of sale network treats your face as the default payment method, refusing enrollment means refusing the standard checkout line. Nobody explicitly bans cash, but the machines just stop accepting it. The danger compounds when that said biometric profile handles your payments, your loyalty programs, and your identity verification across every platform. Your face becomes a private sector credential as powerful as any government-issued ID, maintained by corporations with no obligation to keep you enrolled. So what happens to the people who fall outside this system? Well, in 2025, a pattern emerged across the American banking industry that has a name: debanking. It means closing someone's account or refusing them service, often without explanation and with almost no way to appeal. The customer has committed no crime, they have broken no law, but the bank decides they represent too much risk and access simply vanishes. The trigger kept showing up in congressional investigations and regulatory filings: reputation risk. Banks were shutting accounts not because of anything illegal, but because serving certain customers might attract bad press or regulatory attention. In December 2025, the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, the federal agency that supervises national banks, published a statement responding to a House Financial Services Committee report titled Operation Checkpoint 2.0. The investigation documented how regulators had pressured banks into cutting off lawful businesses, particularly in digital assets, energy, and firearms. The OCC's new controller, Jonathan Gould, confirmed the practice had been real. The agency announced it had stripped references to reputation risk from its handbooks and guidance. They removed it because it had been there, woven into how banks evaluated customers for years. Now connect that history to the biometric infrastructure being built right now. If your account recovery, your employment verification, and your everyday transactions all run through a single biometric profile, losing access to that profile creates a cascade: missed bills, lost wages, no way to receive benefits or pay rent. The gap between people whose credentials are accepted everywhere and those who are routinely rejected is the architecture of a two-tier society. For a working person on the wrong side, this is not politics. What it is groceries and keeping a roof overhead. Your money, your job, your identity, all funneling through a single biometric gate that someone else controls. And that gate has an off switch. The defense is straightforward. Hold physical cash, keep small amounts of gold or silver that trade without verification, build skills that earn income outside platforms, strengthen local networks that can operate without centralized permission, because they want your body to be their ledger, so do not give them the key. Tell me in the comments, do you think biometric ID will stay voluntary or become the gate for everything? Like this video and subscribe to the 97%. Watch our other videos, and whatever you do, do not miss what's coming next.